everyone, I've come on to do the Junk Journal July UK prompt for tomorrow so that I can give you a bit of inspiration. So tomorrow's prompt is butterfly. Having a look at these prompts, you know, there's a few I'm wondering how on earth I'm going to do them, so I'm certainly going to be looking at other people's videos to see how they're doing them, to get a, you know, to get some inspiration to do it myself, because I'm aiming to do a prompt today like there is on the list. So Junk Journal July UK is hosted by the Vintage Button on YouTube, and it is a collaboration between Facebook groups Junk Journal Community Chat Room UK, Be Happy Stationery design team members and guest designers. And we're using the hashtag Junk Journal July UK. And because I'm on the design team, I got allocated a couple of the prompts to do specifically, but because I've chosen to, I'm going to try and do them all. And so the prompt for today was bees, which I did a video on yesterday. You can see that in the playlist. And then today it's butterflies. So there are quite a few butterflies in this kit, and I love it. I love them. And they're the perfect colours for the herbology kit as well, I think. I have finally gotten around to getting my journal compiled. I just haven't decorated the front yet, because I think I might decorate the front as one of the prompts. What I'm planning to do with these is I'm planning to make like a 3D butterfly which wings fold out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this one out, which is a tiny bit smaller than that one, and glue it just on the body. And then this one I'm going to cut out even smaller still and glue it onto the body, and then I'm going to fold the wings up of the two I've cut out, and hopefully, well, I know it should work because I've done it before, so let's see. I'm not going to make it with the foam dots because I don't want it very bulky. I just want it to be, I mean, it will stick out, but I don't want it to be like sticking out and sticking up, if you see what I mean. So I'm going to cut this one out the size that it is, which is a tiny bit smaller than the one I've got there. I want to give the impression of fluttering wings. Yeah, I do really like the kit. I like the colours in it. I think it's very calming. I love anything that's got images from apothecary, so you know, the little bottles and jars and things. I'm loving that. I'm loving the herbs hanging up. I'm loving the floral part of it, the bees that are, you know, other insects that are included, such as butterflies. So I'm not going to cut the antenna out because they're already there. And to be honest, I don't normally cut antenna out when I'm cutting out a butterfly. If I want them on, I'll just draw them on afterwards, if you see what I mean, rather than cutting them out, because I always end up cutting them off anyway, so I just save myself the problem. Now I have cleaned my big scissors and they are working properly. I don't know why I can't use some of my other big scissors. It's not like I haven't got other pairs, because I have. I think they just feel more comfortable in my hand, so I like to use them. Yeah. So I'm in the process of trying to adopt another dog. We've been and visited her. She's lovely. She's currently called Cassie, and we think we might keep it at Cassie. We're not sure yet. We haven't 100% decided yet, but we do think, yeah, she might stay as Cassie. Anyway, we went to meet her. Layla got on really well with her. There was no hostility between them at all. The lady that's fostering her at the minute has got 4 other dogs, so yeah, she's got 5 with Cassie. You can tell a dog lover when you meet one, can't you? And we, you know, I felt like we'd met each other before. We're like kindred spirits. We were, yeah, she said she'd have 10 dogs, and I said so would I, but my husband won't let me. No, she says he's a spoil sport. Yeah, I think he is and all. Not really. I mean, I'm lucky he allows me to have two, aren't I? And I do appreciate that. Yeah, so hopefully, I'm just waiting for the lady to come and do the home check. You know, they need to come and check that the house is secure, that, you know, you're not leaving your front door open onto a main road all day, and that, you know, that it's safe for a dog. In fact, we were saying this morning, I mean, I know they've got to do it, and I understand why they do it, and I'm not slating them for doing it, but I said, you know, you can have a baby and nobody bats an eyelid, but if you want to adopt a dog, you have to have a home visit. They don't do a home visit. If you want to have a baby, mate, you can just go down and have one. Yeah, they said it's it, you know, they've got it a bit round the neck somewhere, haven't they? Somebody has. Anyway, yeah, could you imagine if you had to go through all them checks before you could have a baby? There wouldn't be as many babies about, would there? Right, so here we are. So what I'm going to do is use this as a tuck spot or a pocket, and I will put it in my journal and show you how I'm going to use it. So I'm just going to glue the actual body part down on the butterfly, not the rest. So I'm just going to fold the wings back each side like this, so that they're sticking up from the body. That's that one, see? And when I glue it down, they'll stay up like that. And it does actually look like it's landed. You see what I mean? Yeah, I do love this effect, and it's so easy to achieve. And then the smaller one I'll do the same with, so fold it back, and then get my glue on. And butterflies are much like bees, really, aren't they? You can always, I mean, I've got loads of butterfly stickers. I could use some of those in my journal. I've got butterfly stamps I could use, that would be good as well. All sorts, butterfly die cuts, stencils, you name it, and you can get it in a butterfly, I'm sure. So yes, but this kit has its own, and they match so well that I stayed with them. Can you see why I've gone for the little bit smaller? It does make the wings look like they're fluttering a little bit, doesn't it? And if you layer them on top of each other like that, can you see how the wings are, they look like they're fluttering a little bit, don't they? Ooh. Yeah, so that's my pocket, and that's what I'm going to put into my journal. So let me get my journal. Now, I'm going to save, I know it's ridiculous, but I'm going to save that number to use maybe for something else later on. It's a nice little ticket, no point in wasting it. There's that. And then on here, the same again, we'll save the number. But even if I don't use it in this project, it just seems silly throwing it away when it's a perfectly good little ticket. Yeah, so that's those two. If you wanted to stencil a butterfly, you could use that as a stencil, couldn't you? Just as or you could draw around it with your pencil and then just colour it into your own taste, couldn't you? Or stamp on it, anything. Yeah, that would be a good idea if you didn't have a stencil. So here's my journal, and I've got 16 pages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in each signature, and there's 2 signatures, which means that I've got 2 sides to use per prompt. And I am going to try and save as many sides as I can to use for writing on, because that's why I've done that on the back there. That'll be for writing. This page has got butterflies on it already. Look at those, love it. And I love these little lilac flowers. And if you look, every time I look at a page, I find something new on it. I love that. So over here we've got a writing space there, and we've got the bottles. I do like the bottles. Yeah, I don't want to cover those up. I'm just thinking where I can put. Just trying to find a space to put this. Love that. I would print that off again and cut it out and pop, you know, layer that up and make it into a pocket as well. It's really pretty. This one might be good. We'll pop the butterfly on there like that. So I'm going to just glue. Right, so that's middle of the bottom, that's the middle of the top. I can just about see through it. It's throwing me off a bit because the label's not, either the label's not straight or the butterfly's not straight. You can't have both. So yeah, it's throwing me off a bit. So if I do it like this, we'll know it's done halfway, won't we? Put it down the bottom. See what I mean? The label's not straight, so it's making me think that the butterfly's not straight, but it actually is. And here's my little fluttery butterfly, who will quite happily just flatten down when you close your page, and then it'll pop back up again when you open it. And then into there I could put anything really. I could put some tickets, or I could put a journal card. I could pop a ticket in there or a journal card. See? Let's leave that ticket in there. And let's make a hole in the top. And put some string through. I'm using string because I think it's more of a natural look. Yeah, so I'm sticking with string throughout. I may use some green, you know, the green or the natural colour, but I'm trying to stick to more neutral, natural colours. And I was using string earlier. I used it to bind my journal with. I'll show you in a minute. I actually just recently bought myself a crocodile big bite. I've been wanting one, and I found one for such a great price I couldn't leave it. So I bought it, and it works a treat. And here's how I've bound this journal. I've done it crossways like that. Because there was only 2 signatures, I was able to do that. I'd have to watch a video on how to do it any other way, but yeah, if there was more than 2 signatures or more than 4 holes. But yeah, that's how I did it. It ties just there. It's got string going through that side, a bit like lacing your shoes it was. Yeah, so that was my prompt for today's Junk Journal July butterfly. I have got other butterflies here, which you can just pop a butterfly on the corner of a page. Personally, I like to always have something on the corner of a writing page, even if it's just a little stamp like that. Or you can have a butterfly up the top there. These little things are great for that. There's this butterfly, I think it's a pocket. I think you could use that as a pocket. You could pop it just there like that, and it really doesn't need anything else, does it? It's really pretty just like that. Another thing I was going to do on here was a little bit of splatter. I thought I'd do a little bit of white splatter on it, so let me find my white splatter. We'll take this out. I'm actually a bit too chicken to do white splatter, so what I'm going to do is, now I've got it in my book, rather than do white splatter, what I will do is, this is white permanent marker, and I'm just going to do some little, it takes a minute to come out, but it is coming, some little white spots like that. Yeah, happy with that. I'll link the vintage button into my description box below, and I know that Be Happy Stationery does have a playlist of everyone that's doing the Junk Journal July that she knows of. So yeah, that's my little butterfly prompt for today. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.